Well, look at that. We're back. And it's another night out here in the shop. You're watching 710 Garage. I'm Jeremy, and we are back on this here Trans Am. So, let's go through the parts that were bought, why they're wrong, and what we're going to do to rectify it. Alright, so if you remember, we were talking about this Trans Am getting a 9-inch rear end. And this thing with a 9-inch in it, the gears need to come out the front end instead of out the rear like a normal axle would that would have come in this car. Now, if we jump over to this torque arm setup, so this is a package that he bought, and it's supposed to bolt in the car here. It's supposed to be set up for a 400 turbo 400 trans. And then this torque arm here goes all the way back to the rear axle where you make one mount, and this is supposed to bolt to the rear axle. Now, the entire point of that thing is to keep the axle from kind of tipping forward and backward like this. You have the two lower control arms in the car that hold it kind of in place, and this arm is supposed to stop it from changing that pinion angle, you know, toward the ground or toward the car or the sky. So, we went ahead and got the motor back from the engine builder. So he's got his full engine here. It's completely ready to go. We got his turbo 400 bolted up behind it. And if I bring you over here, you can see here, this is the lower control arm. So this kind of holds the axle in place. And then that torque arm that we were just talking about is supposed to bolt right here on the driver's side. Now, problem is, like I said, this whole pumpkin chunk has to come out, and by that coming out you can't really bolt to it. So what I'm planning to do, or what the plan was to cut this thing kind of right here about 10 inches forward, and we could remake this back section, get rid of this bracket, and weld it onto that fabricated 9-inch that he has in this car. Now, we went to go ahead and bolt that transmission cross member in, and you can see all this red paint right here. Well, that red paint is about 4 inches further forward than these two bolts where the transmission mount is supposed to be. So, that is the wrong cross member, and it will not work in this car. So, what are we going to do? Well, with lead times right now, because of the way the world is, we don't really have another choice other than go see our friends at Dynamic, and we got them to cut and bend some plates for us. So, these are the same bolt pattern as that plate there. And I did leave it 3 inches long, so it's going to point toward the back of the car 3 more inches. And I'm hoping that that's not going to take that cross member like middle tube and make it come way down across and then way back up. Hopefully now I can just kind of almost go straight across. Not only is that going to help us with strength, it's also going to help us to stop that thing from trying to rip out of the car as he's going drag racing with it. So, long enough introduction. Let's get over there, bolt those brackets up that Dynamic cut for us today, and see how far we can get tonight. Okay, so real quick, let's take a look at where we're at. So we have this passenger side bracket here bolted to the frame in 2 spots, driver side bolted to the frame in 2 spots, and then what I have here is this electrical taped on block of steel. Now this is 1 inch this way, 2 inches this way, and 3 inches this way. So they call it a 1, 2, 3 block. So I know that the factory mount is 2 inches, which is going to go in here. I don't have that here tonight. It's coming tomorrow. So for tonight, this will help just kind of line up where we're at. Now, my plan is, you can see that this is higher than these 2 points. So my plan is to come across here, and we'll kind of bring it down right there and kind of tack into here. And then the same thing, we're going to come across here and come up into here. And then the reason that this is all wide open like this is because that's where that torque arm is going to sit. We're going to have our torque arm come off of this mount and come back toward the back of the car. So the goal tonight is get this thing kind of figured out, tacked in place, and then we'll start working backward. line cutting and welding done, as you guys saw, and this is what we came up with. So it bolts in front here, comes straight across, and then it tips up towards this frame rail. The passenger side frame rail over here is higher than the driver's side, so we had to make this slight kick. And what I did do, if you can see here, is I put this tube behind where that mount's gonna go. And the reason that I did that was so I can make an L bracket, kind of like this, and I can just drop a bolt straight down and you have really easy access to it to bolt this thing in and out. I didn't want to put it through the tube. It just, you know, makes longer bolts, makes a whole bunch more work. So all I'm gonna do is I'll have Dynamic cut me. It'll be shaped like a U. So I'll weld on here, I'll weld on over here, and it'll come straight out on the top with the holes in it that line up with the trans. So that's done. That's exactly what I wanted to do. And we still got a little bit of time tonight. So what I'm gonna do is run over to the bender and I'm gonna try and bend both the upper and lower tube for the torque arm. So what I wanna do is bend this lower one. It's gonna go straight. We're gonna come back this way and then out. And then the upper one, I'm not gonna do this front bend yet, but I wanna come out like this, come back out this way, and then straight over again. So basically we're gonna make two tubes that are straight on the front end, and then once we get them kind of sitting in the car, I'll make that last front bend down into the bottom tube. So without further ado, let's get away from the car, over there to the bender, and see if we can get some tubes bent tonight. Customer's coming tomorrow, and the plan was to start doing this kind of stuff. So hopefully he's a little bit surprised when he gets here, and yeah, we can start kind of motoring back. I do need two people. We had this car down on the ground to put the motor and trans in, so it's not exactly where it was on the hoist prior. So I do want to get the car re-leveled, get everything exactly where we want it, so that when I have an extra set of hands, we can start kind of lining up the backside and the little tabs that we need to attach to the rear end. That's really hard with just one guy. So yeah, we'll try and get some of this monotonous stuff done, and then we can jump into that tomorrow when we get a little bit extra help. Anyways, let's start bending some tube. So just like that, we have our tube bent, which is going to make the top and the bottom of that torque arm, and we have our transmission mount done. Let's look at this tube real quick. So this tube bender is a JD squared, and I love this unit. It's got a air over hydraulic pump right here, so you push one side of the pedal and it starts to bend the tube. You push the top side of the pedal and it will retract the bender. Now, I only have a couple dies for this thing. Dies are getting expensive. So I have 1 1/4 inch, that's what we're using tonight. I have 1 3/4 inch there for roll cages. And I have 1 5/8 inch here for little gussets or anything like that. Now, the 1 1/4 inch that we are using is a 5.5 inch center line. So what that's telling you is the center of this pin to the center of the tube out here, that gap there is 5.5 inches. So if you did a full 180-degree bend, that would be 11 inches from center to center. So if you made a hoop, or 11 inches center to center on that tube. So with that number, it'll kind of help you figure out where exactly you need to bend to do a roll cage or whatever and clear a headliner. Now, we're not doing anything that critical tonight, but I still did cheat a little bit. I went ahead a couple nights ago and I bent this bar. So we got 2 lengths of tube to make all the parts that we need on this thing. So I cut a couple foot piece off of here and I made a 90-degree bend. Now that 90-degree bend you can use for a roll cage or anything else. And what I do is I mark where the die starts and then I mark every inch. And that'll tell you exactly how much material you need to bend a 90-degree bend, divide it in half for a 45 or whatever. That way when you go to cut your tube, you know exactly how much material you need and you'll be able to make that big long hoop for a roll cage or something like that. Now on the other end of this exact piece that I just bent in a 90, I made these 2 bends here. So as you can see, it kind of jogs over. And I guessed at a 30-degree bend for that. So I went 30 degrees one way, I put it as tight as I could get it in the bender, and I went 30 degrees back the other way, which is exactly what we did tonight. Now, that fit really nice with the floor pan in my opinion, so that's why we copied it. So what I did here was bend the first bend, flip it around as tight as I can get it, and bend the second bend. Then I went to the other end of this really long stick and did the same thing. I did my first bend here as tight as I could get it, did my second bend there. So that gave us both the top and the bottom bars for this torque arm that we're building. I don't know the exact length that I need yet, because again, I want to get some help tomorrow. We'll level the car out, we'll get the axle sitting exactly where the customer wants it, and then we'll be able to cut this tube down, which will be one cut down here, and then one cut way down here. So we'll have a chunk left over in the middle that we're gonna be cutting up to make little gussets and everything else. We do have some other tubes that we're gonna be putting on this car, so it'll get consumed, but I figured that was the easiest way. I don't need any help bending this tube right now, so if I can get this stuff out of the way, that'll leave the help that I get for the couple hours doing some better, you know, stuff on there, like holding it up and designing brackets and that kind of stuff. So that's about as far as I needed to get tonight. The transmission mount sitting up in place. Like I said, he's bringing that rubber isolator that's gonna go in where I had that steel block. So we'll be able to bolt that up into the transmission, and I can make a little bracket there that's gonna go on the back side of that tube to hold that. Next thing we can do, we'll get the car all leveled, we'll start measuring this, we'll cut this tube down, and we can start mocking it up by tack welding the bung and the heim joint in each end of this thing so we can make the front bracket. So we are making some good progress tonight. I don't know, it's 3.5 hours or 4 hours out here doing this stuff. Yes, I know it's a little bit long to make one transmission mount and a couple bends, but I had that tubing there left over from another project way back at the old shop. So I ran over there. I had just enough that if I screwed up the cut, I would have been screwed. So what I wanted to do was take a little bit extra time, make sure that those two pieces that I had, we were able to make it, and luckily it worked. So that's about as far as we want to get tonight. I would like to say thank you to MS Supply. MS Supply is just outside of Detroit, and hey, they are the best at supplying nuts, bolts, fasteners, butt connectors, all that kind of stuff that you don't really think about you need to build a project, but it's always in demand. So these guys supply a ton of aftermarket companies, lift kit companies, and you know, a lot of stuff, robotic companies, a lot of stuff like that where you know they're buying hundreds and hundreds and maybe even thousands of bolts, but they'll also supply to you and me. So I got a bolt bin, they supply that, they keep that thing stocked up for me, and they're the absolute best in the game. If you're local to Detroit, make sure you give them a call. If you're not local, they will take all your bolts, make a huge order, and ship them out to you. So make sure you give those guys a shout. Thank you, MS Supply, for all the support. Now, hopefully tomorrow night we'll get back on this thing. The owner of the car is kind of camera shy, so he probably won't be on here, but what I will do is take some time lapses, and after he goes, I'll come back on and kind of recap where we're at. Maybe I'll just do it on Instagram or something, but official 710 Garage is where you'll find that. Anyways, hope you had a great night, and yeah, we'll catch you at the end of the week. Make sure you do stuff.